just give me a moment. I have to go and um tweet the link out to my Twitter so I can let other people know. Hold on a moment, we're gonna start in just a second. Also, let me mute my mic so I can hear how the stream sounds. Give me 1 second. Ooh, I almost posted that on my personal Twitter. Oh my goodness. Oops. I need to go to my professional VTuber Twitter. Okay. There we go. That was close. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. Howdy, y'all. My name is Pascal Whitlock, and today we're gonna be playing My Vow to My Liege. It is a historical fiction otome game, from what I could tell. I've been really excited to play this, as I've been saying for the other games so far, but I've been really excited to play this. The art looks so beautiful. The music sounds so good too. I opened the game up before I started streaming, and it's been up playing, so I've been listening to the music on replay for a while, and it sounds so beautiful. But I'm gonna tell y'all what this game is about exactly, so we can know what we're getting into before we start. So it says that My Vow to My Liege is a visual novel dating game. Players get to play as a girl disguised as a man, Fu Chai as the king of... It's spelled NG, and I think it's pronounced The dateable characters are Shi, a famous beauty in ancient China who was actually a lady in history, but in this story we've turned her into a man. Why couldn't we just have a little bit of GL? But I guess that's fine too. An old enemy, Go Jian, who an old enemy, Gu Jian, the undisputably loyal Wu Zishu, and the ever vigilant god Chen Feng. Will they choose the man over the country? Love over hate? Who will they finally end up with? So that's the opening summary. So here's the storyline. It says, in the last years of the dynasty, during the spring and autumn period, approximately between 771 to 476 BC, the liege of a certain nation struggles with hegemony, and wars seem to be endless. The kingdom of Ng defeated their old enemy, the kingdom of Yue. In the course of the war, the king of Ng, He Lu, they have diacritics. I don't know how to pronounce those diacritics. Those aren't the familiar opinion I'm used to. But sustained fatal injuries as he passed the throne to the new king, Fu Cha of Gao. To fulfill the secret and long-standing wishes of her ancestors of breaking their sacred vow with the dragon god, she is forced to live a lie. Faced with countless bloody battles to seal the dragon god, there suddenly appears a reprieve. Among the chaos, who will loyally sacrifice their life, and who will plot a scheme of betrayal? Will they choose the man over the country? Love over hate? Who will they finally end up with? Okay, so I'm not going to read the characters that they have on the description of the game on Steam. So let me give a content warning. They don't say it's a content warning, but I guess it kind of is. So let me read this as well. It says, this is a historical work of fiction set in the spring and autumn period of China, approximately 771 to 476 BC. The background art and fashion depicted in the artwork is only for aesthetic purposes and is not historically accurate. Additionally, the spirits, ghosts, and gods described here are from legends and folktales of how mankind can conquer elements of nature. Due to the historical setting, certain concepts might not conform to the general consensus of modern society, but it does not in any way represent the position of the production team on the subject. So I'm guessing we're gonna have some misogyny. Probably. I'm pretty sure that's probably what's gonna be in this. If it's a female protagonist in these type of games, they will probably have some misogyny in it. If it's historical fiction, most likely. I'm pretty sure there might be some other stuff too. So that's enough talking. Let's go and get started on the game. Hopefully the music is not too loud. So let us start. Hey Pixel, yes, we are playing an otome game. It is My Vow to My Liege. I just explained what we're gonna be playing. I don't know how long you were in the game, how long you were in the stream for, but basically it's a historical fiction otome game, and we play as a girl who's living as a guy who acts as the king of the kingdom of Ng, is NG, and there's gonna be betrayal, there's gonna be some other stuff. So I'm just about to start the game right now. So yeah, click to start. It looks so, like, the art looks so pretty. The music sounds so good too. Start. Okay. Operational guide. Right click to bring up the menu button. The menu includes within the save, load, and config functions. Scroll down with the mouse wheel to view history. If you are using Windows, you can drag the screen to adjust the size. The skip unread text is turned off by default. To skip the text in the replay section of the extras, please enable the skip unread text option for in the configuration menu. For better gaming experience and to protect the rights of I should have read this before I put it on my what's-my-jigum. Before I put it on my schedule. Oh, okay. Well, I have more Ultimate games. Okay. Well, it says for better gaming experience and to protect the rights of the players who have purchased the game, please restrict all live videos, walkthrough videos, and screenshots to only the prologue and the first 10 chapters of the game. I don't know how many chapters there are. So I guess we only gonna play the prologue and the first 10 chapters. I would just go and play a game that we could just play all the way through right now, but I've already loaded this up and I've already, put it on my schedule. So we can just play the prologue and the first 10 chapters, and I could play the rest by myself, and you could play the rest on your own if you want to. But after that, I will have some other Ultimate games to play, so we don't have to worry about that. But it says, please keep an eye out for official announcements regarding other chapters as they'll be unlocked respectively. Game reports, spoilers, and players' comments are not subjected to restricted chapters. Okay. So yeah, that's it. We are going to start. It says all contents of this game, including artwork, story, music, UI designs, are copyrighted and belong to the EN-PNGTuber game company and their individual composers and creators, so please do not extract any part of it or as a whole for reproduction and or distribution purposes. This is a work of fiction set in the spring and autumn period of my country. The costumes, background, etc. are fictitious of this time period. I hope that everyone will enjoy the story while taking into account that this does not accurately represent any historical facts. The story of gods and ghosts is taken from legends of old and represent the strength of the human spirit that is able to conquer all odds that fate can throw at them. Within the confines of historical values, some of the concepts presented do not conform to the general consensus of modern society and do not represent the position of the production team. Any similarity between characters and plots of the story and reality is purely coincidental. So yeah, that was a lot of exposition, or a lot of what did they call it at the beginning? I don't know, like, you know what I'm talking about. Do you agree and do solemnly swear to the terms written above? I take the sacred vow with you too. Okay, yeah. In a time of myths and legends under the mandate of heaven, King Wu overthrew the corrupt King Yu and started the Zhou dynasty of peace and prosperity. The good king secretly created the golden script to communicate with the gods and demons. He took a sacred vow with the heavens in exchange for the divine right to rule. His government will be one virtue. Using the golden script he carved. Oh, okay. I thought it was going to keep going up and I will have no time to read it. Okay, I can slow down. Sorry. Also, let me see if I can open the stream up on my phone so I don't have to keep minimizing the screen to see what the chat is like. So hold on a moment. Okay. Let me turn this down on my phone. Okay. Using the golden script, he carved this vow onto a large bronze vessel, the Ding of Virtue. The vow and the ding were passed down through generations of kings until it came in the hands of the corrupt King Ping, who broke the vow and lost the Ding. The secret existence of the golden script then came to light, and the peace and prosperity of the Zhao dynasty started and waned as the lands broke into similar warring states. Oops. A time of chaos and turmoil had returned as countries prepared for yet another war. Okay. We can change our name. I don't really know Chinese names. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be naming it according to... Is it supposed to be... like her... Is it supposed to be her birth name? Her girl name? Or is it supposed to be her boy name? Okay, so it looks like that Tung Yu is a male name in Chinese. So I'm guessing I'm supposed to give a male name. Okay, I don't know any Chinese male names, so I'm going to look for one. And let's see. Let me see. I'm coming up with a name to give. And I don't have a nickname. You know what? We'll just keep it because I don't even know how to come up with a nickname based off of a name I might give. So let's keep it. Will be Ji Tung Yu, and nickname will be Ayu. We'll keep it. Okay, it's starting. In a time of legends of the wars, the destiny of the great kingdom falls on the shoulders of a young girl. She's fated to ascend. Oh. It's basically saying what we've already read before. Oh, he looks handsome. The one with the blue hair looks really pretty. Okay. Oh, okay. He looks pretty as well. Wow, the art looks so good. And she looks really pretty as well. She looks so beautiful. Oh my. Is that supposed to be us? Who stabbed him? Are we gonna have to be the ones to betray somebody? That was nice. That was a nice intro. I can still kind of see a silhouette, even though it's dark. Okay, do I just click enter? Are we done? Okay. Prologue. I don't know if I want to use just my regular voice, or do I want to use a high pitched voice? Okay, I don't know. Let me try high pitch. The darkening skies that foretell the coming of impending rain feel suffocating. An island shrouded in mist stands in the middle of Lake Tai. At the heart of the island is on an altar stand two banners with faded golden lines. Around them stand a group of motionless priestesses on ground that have been tainted red with blood. Before a large rectangle bronze ding, the head priest and priestess lead a liturgical procession headed by my royal father, He Lu, and all members of his household, including my brothers and I. When they both look so beautiful. Everyone here is well aware that this autumn's offering ceremony is anything but usual. We will soon be executing the dragon god that our country has worshipped for generations. Executing the dragon god. Huchai, my third brother, who's standing next to me. Oh, so I think we're gonna be taking our third brother's place, because that was the name that the summary said that we had. So I think maybe he gonna die and we take his place. We like, are we twins or something? Like, how do we pull that off? Like, people know who he is, so like, how are we supposed to cover that up? When Huchai, my third brother, who's standing next to me, keeps shivering with fear. Even though he's a year older than me, his lack of courage is alarming. I clench the Jane fish amulet that Yi Quan lent to me for protection as I steel myself. Shi Yin Guan, the son of the head priest and priestess, is currently east of Lake Tai on Tiger Hill, tending to the magical array that is set up there to steal the god. Okay, I don't know what intonation I should have for that. If we fail to execute the dragon god here, we will be able to steal him on Tiger Hill. The Shi family does indeed live up to their reputation for being the most formidable priests and priestesses in the Ng kingdom. Am I saying that right? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. My father, the king, takes his incense from the head priest and bows reverently to the sacred thing. Even though we are far away from Tiger Hill, we can see the smoke rising from the fiery beacon, a sign that Yi Guang is ready to seal off the god. There's no way for my father to withdraw from this battle. So this is our father. Ooh. Okay. We have Chinese voice acting, Mandarin voice acting, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I like it. The dragon god needs to die. We cannot afford to fail, for if we do, we will obliterate the king. He will obliterate the kingdom of Ning. Of Ng. A sense of resolution can be seen on my father's expression. I take a deep breath only to have my senses assaulted by the stench of rotten fish, what makes it hard to breathe. The putrid soil, withered reeds, and the smell of blood. Pull yourself together, Teng Yu. You are, after all, the royal priestess of Ning, I quietly tell myself. Oh, royal princess. You are, after all, the royal princess of Ng, I quietly tell myself. Although Yi Guang and I are both 14 years old, he is already shouldering so many responsibilities, while I still have so much room to improve. Okay, good to know that we are 14 years old. Oh God. Oh goodness gracious. I don't know how long into the future we become king of the kingdom, but if I'm supposed to interpret that content one in the beginning that I read that said that there are some things that we might not agree is moral in the modern in general consensus in modern day times, I wonder if we're gonna be a little young for these people, because 14 years old, the men that I saw at the beginning don't look like they're 14 years old, and I'm pretty sure we're not gonna start at 14 years old. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna might skip a couple years before we continue the story, but I still feel like we're gonna be young. I don't know. I'm nervous about that. Oh my god. If that's how it is, I already bought the game, so I'm gonna have to live with that if I feel that if she turns out to be a little young to be romancing these boys. Isn't that how it was in Hakuoki, if any of y'all played that before? Like Hakuoki, Chizuru was like 16 years old, 17, 18, something like that when she first met the guy. She'd been with them for a while after that, but or she would be with them for a while after she met them. But when she started, she was still like she was a late adolescent, a 16 years old, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm misremembering. But this might be a similar situation. Okay, let me continue. Let me just continue. I'm just scared that she could be a little young. Okay, the autumn offering ritual is beginning. The priestesses start their ritual chants. Like the smoke from burning incense, the sound of their chanting drifts away on the wind towards the lake. The head priests and priestesses start dancing to chants. Their long sleeves trail gracefully behind them, like the wings of a white crane taking flight, or the fins of a fish in water. This is my first time seeing the sacred transcendent fish dance. I am in trance. Ooh. Okay. They look so beautiful, so I'm pretty sure they look even more beautiful doing the dance together. Fuchai gently tugs on my sleeve to make me realize that our two older brothers have already walked forward, reaching into the thing and are now placing something onto their lips. It's blood. Ooh, ew. Are we gonna drink the blood of the dragon god? Staring at the red, viscous liquid in the bronze thing, I feel a sense of dreaded apprehension in the pit of my stomach. I quickly touch some of the blood to my lips, that strange, greasy feeling that still lingers on my fingertips. We summon the power of heaven to slay the dragon god, to be a shining example of virtue to all. It's too fast! God, can I go look at the log so I can read that? That was too fast, but they said a prayer, I guess. Together with the crowd, I start to chant the words of our vow with a troubled heart. Slaying a god, what an insane notion! As we chant, bits of golden light float out of my father's body to merge with the golden beam of light that is emitting from the center of the bronze ding. Looking at myself and my three older brothers, it seems like we are in the same transcendental state as our father. As the head priests and priestesses dance, the banners start to flutter in the wind. The golden beam pierces the dark clouds, breaking them apart to reveal a clear, bright autumn sky. A black arrow flies through the sky and lands on my father's feet. Uh-oh. I had a feeling that this is when these people die. So I guess someone's plotting a coup. Over 100 black-robed priests surround the altar. One who appears to be leading them is the previous head priest, Mei Xian. Didn't he defect to another country many years ago? Let me turn the music down on my computer, because it's a little loud for me. I don't know if it's too loud on the stream. I think my voice should be loud enough, but it's a little loud on my end. Excuse me. You're shameless, Halu. How dare you betray the dragon god and break the sacred vow that your ancestors have kept with him? My ancestors and I have been following the righteous way of the heaven. When the dragon god deceived us, how can we submit to such a demonic monster any longer? Uh-oh. Without any hesitation, my father draws the sword. draws out his sword. At the altar, the black and white figures intertwine in the chaos to create a third color, red. One by one, young priestesses start falling to the men in black robes, their beautiful faces and supple bodies breaking into pieces of meat. Okay, that's an interesting choice of words, ma'am. Supple bodies. As blood flows like water into the lake, I could hear rumbling sounds coming from the four corners of the lake, like that of a monster leaping out of the water. Oh. I guess that's the dragon god that we tried to kill. This is the first time that I've ever laid my eyes on the dragon god. This gigantic white creature is beautiful, yet terrifying. I stand motionlessly, unable to take my gaze off the creature. As I stand before this absolute power, I feel insignificant. It feels like an offense. Well, I got an achievement called Sketches. I am caught off guard as the head priestess pulls me away into the bosoms of my older brothers before calling forth her magical swords of water. They miss me by the skin of my teeth as they fly towards the dragon god and pierce him. Mei Qian shoots us a malicious glare. Today, you will taste the divine power of the dragon god. Ew, I guess he's one of those people. So he turned on us, so now he's worshipping the opposing deity. Uh-oh. No! I liked him. I didn't know anything about him, but he looked nice. He looked pretty, so I thought he had a spike too and everything, so I thought he would stay. I guess not. He gives us a long whistle, summoning tall columns of muddy water from the lake. In an instant, they rush at the head priest and my brothers, and all who are there to safeguard us. Goodness. Okay. Mei Qian! My father gives a roar of anguish that resounds in all directions as the phrase, "We failed to kill the dragon god," shrills repeatedly in my ears. Helu, your sons are dead. Enjoy this taste of despair and defeat before you die! The dead bodies of my brothers are suspended by columns of brackish water. A severed pinkhead lands at my feet. Which my brothers did this belong to? I cannot endure it anymore and I throw up on the ground. Trying hard to contain her grief, the head priestess calls forth an ice blade that pierces through the sacred thing. In my state of semi-consciousness, I hear her call out, "Spirit of the Ding, obey me! Capture the dragon!" A bright white light emits from out of the belly of the Ding and transforms into a large ferocious tiger. It pins down the head of the dragon inside the vessel and shatters into tiny pieces. That terrifying dragon, like a dying fish, lies on the altar, twitching weakly and helplessly. Its colossal body quickly disintegrates, giving off a strong stank of rotten fish. My sovereign god! Oh. No! Why did both of them have to die? You better die next. I'm just kidding. Or am I? All of a sudden, the mage Shan furiously stabs a sharp blade to the back of the head priestess. And with that, the white tiger suddenly disappears. I stare mindlessly at the sacred thing as it gives off its last bit of golden light before absorbing the body of the dragon inside it. Mei Xian, like a madman, pounces towards it. I guess I don't have to voice act. Like, if they already say, like, the grunts that they make, I guess I don't have to voice act that. From behind Mei Xian, my father cuts his head off cleanly with a blow of his sword. Before my eyes, fresh red blood trails from behind the severed head as it lets out a hideous laugh. Oh, thank you so much. I'm trying to do some voice acting on the side, but I don't know how good I am. I never get in the roles when I try out. So thank you. I really appreciate that. I wish I had one of those voice like effects so I could like do this type of stuff live when I'm reading. I know someone else I watch that does that plays this game. She has like, she puts filters on her voice when she does stuff like this. The descendants of the betrayer will be, well, I'm trying to make it graggly, or I don't know what word I'm trying to use to describe that. The descendants of the betrayer will be cast out. This evil deed that you've done today will be avenged 1,000 times over. I don't know. Oh, goodness. Your nation will crumble. Families will be torn apart. Everything you treasure will be turned to ash. Why was he so mad? What made him defect in the first place? Saying this, Mei Xian's head explodes. Droplets of blood turn to blaze as they fly at me. My mind goes blank. The blades of blood fall short, less than a few inches away, so as I unconsciously clutch the amulet with only one name on my lips. Yi Guang. Who's that again? I don't remember who that was. Chapter 1. Oh, we might finish all 10 chapters in this stream. If the chapters are gonna be quick, since we can't do more than 10 chapters. Well, that was the prologue. Prologue might be quick. So we are about 40 minutes in. We've got about an hour and 20 minutes probably. Okay. I don't know who's saying this, so I'm just gonna read it. Liege. Is this supposed to be us as a boy, I think now? My liege. Ah! Okay, so I think this is us. Cheng Feng, is that you? My liege, you were talking in your sleep again. My chest. The sacred seal that is on my chest is hurting terribly again. It hurts to the point that I can't even cry out. With trembling hands, I search for the thing that I need so desperately. Where is it? Where could it be? My liege, the jade fish is over here. Phew. I press the amulet to my chest as the icy coldness slowly eases the pain until it completely fades away. The pain is now replaced by a feeling of intense abhorrence. This vile sacred seal on my chest is proof of my detestable connection to the dragon god. Oh, okay. Interesting. Is that how we will save? Maybe? I don't know. Interesting. Even now, with that monster seal up on Tiger Hill, the vow that puts me in the situation has yet to be broken. This torturous pain that flares up whenever and wherever has caused me a lot of misery. The fifth watch has yet to arrive. When my Lord God sees my pale and exhausted expression, he gently continues to wipe away my cold sweat. Although he and I are long used to be in the situations, what feels really out of place is the dream that I just had. It feels so real. Can I click on it? Oh, okay. I thought it was one of those things you could click on. We just had a dream about the incident that happened 5 years ago. I'm here with you. I give a bitter laugh. Chung Fun's loyalty is unquestionable, but we both know that this burden is mine alone to bear. Chung Fung, do you think that there's a problem with the seal? Could that be why the former king and our older brother siblings, our older siblings have entered our dreams, urging us to break the sacred vow as soon as possible? The only reason why you having this dream is because the death of the death anniversary of the former king is drawing. Oh, I read that wrong. Goodness. The only reason why you having this dream is because the death anniversary of the former king is drawing nearer. Is that so? Okay, hold on a moment. My father has the stove on, and it's like there's a time on it, and it keeps beeping, and I guess he doesn't hear it. So I'm gonna tell him. So hold on a moment. Okay, I'm back. He completely forgot about the time that he set, so I had to remind him. Is that so? Just take the jadefish for example. If the amulet made by the Shi clan is still effective against the sacred seal on your chest, then should not the seal that was made by blood, sweat, and tears of the entire clan be more effective? Blood, sweat, and tears. Flesh and blood is more like it. Now help us. I'm like, why is she saying us and we? I'm like, oh, is this supposed to be the royal we? Like how kings and queens used to say, we are not amused. That type of stuff. Oh, okay, so she's saying that. She's talking like that. I'm assuming that's not a translation issue. I'm assuming she's talking like that because she's queen or king, actually. So she's saying us and we and stuff like that instead of I. Now, help us bathe and change our clothes. My liege, I think it might be better for you to take a break today, as you were quite distressed by what happened yesterday. Are you saying that we are unable to handle that pesky envoy from Chi? Changfeng would not dare. Why is she talking like? I feel like she's kind of like. Maybe it's just the way that it's translated, but she sounds kind of harsh. Goodness. Uh, change our clothes. Changfeng assists me as I walk up to the throne. Luckily, the curtains are closed so no one can see how helpless their king is. Prime Minister, tell us, what is on today's agenda? Prime Minister? Your Majesty, Prime Minister Wu is not in court today. Is he ill? I want to hear his voice again so I can like think of how I want to say it. He's like kind of old. What type of voice do I want to give him? Yesterday, Prime Minister Wu was full of vigor as he debated with me. What kind of illness does he possibly have to? That kind of sounds feminine. I'm trying to make it like old man. What kind of illness could he possibly have today? I'm trying to do like a British accent. I don't know. I have to hear his voice again. Yeah. Does Minister Bo know the reason why Prime Minister know the reason for Prime Minister's absence? Okay. This I don't know. Other than the death anniversary of his father and brothers, Wu Zishu has never missed a day of court. He comes in early every day to organize his reports and documents. That is why the other members have taken to calling him Prime Minister of the Fourth Watch behind his back. But now it is already near the end of the Fifth Watch. I look towards Chen Feng. He nods his head in acknowledgement and quietly takes his leave. Oh, no. I look towards Chen Feng. He nods his head in acknowledgement and quietly takes his leave. Huh. If you can lose your prime... That kind of sounds like the other guy that I did, but he's dead now, so I could reuse his voice. Huh. If you can lose your prime minister in your kingdom's capital, then there's no wonder why you can't find your low-ranking officer. Go Sun Yi, how dare you intrude on the court of the king of Ng? That's so hard to read. How dare you intrude? Oh, he's supposed to be old. How dare you intrude on the court of Ng? It was your king who had agreed to let me search for my kingdom's missing officer in Gusu City. Your Majesty, isn't your court in Gusu City? Well, aren't you eloquent? We understand that you have your duties to carry out, and that is why we've already sent our guards to search outside the city and surrounding villages, so please do not worry. Your Majesty, you are only saying that to dismiss me. Our archival officer obviously encountered some evil happenstance when he passed Tiger Hill, so why will you not let me search for him up there? The grave of the former king of Ng is up on Tiger Hill. How can we let an outsider such as yourself disturb it? How would he have encountered bandits if that was such an important place to your kingdom? Stop being so persistent and be mindful of your manners. I'm afraid that the king of Ng. It was the kingdom of Ng that drew the first blood. Oh, okay. It is my sincerest wish that the kingdom of Ng and Qi become close allies, and that is why I approached your majesty on the topic of marriage. Marriage? He's trying to arrange a marriage. Is this when we meet one? Are we going to meet one of the boys this way? Is one of the boys that we're going to be our potential fiance? Oh wait, no. I'm supposed to be king. So this potential marriage candidate is probably going to be a woman. Because I'm supposed to be king. And I'm pretty sure, they're going to give me a woman to, marry in this time period. Okay, so I guess we're not going to meet another love interest this way. I did not think that your majesty would be so non-committal to giving us a simple yes or no answer to the marriage proposal. And now your majesty is... Oh. We're still talking. Sorry. And now your majesty is hindering our search to save lives by brushing us off with excuses. How can we possibly ally ourselves with the kingdom of Ng? The envoy of Qi has been repeatedly rude for your majesty and the kingdom of Ng. How long is your majesty going to endure this mistreatment? Gong Suyi, are you threatening us? I would not dare. I hope you understand that I am still very anxious. We also hope that you understand that when the envoys of Qi were granted an audience, we had no knowledge of the aforementioned archival officer. And now you would slight your kingdom's ally just to look for someone as insignificant as him. And now you would slight your kingdom's ally just to look for someone as insignificant as him. We have treated you and your men as distinguished guests, fed you the same food as we eat, and have even ignored the fact that you have intruded on our court. Yet you scorn and humiliate us in front of our ministers and officers. How dare you, Go Sun-Yi? Before I can finish my sentence, everyone in the room has their hands on the hilt of their swords. Gong Sun-Yi and his men take a few steps back in alarm. Gong Sun-Yi recollects? It's probably recollects. In this case, recollects himself and bows to me with a hand-on-hand salute. It is I, the foreign envoy who was rude. The missing officer was a family friend, so I hope that your majesty would be gracious enough to forgive me for taking things too far. Besides, if I were to fail in the mission that my liege has given me of joining our two kingdoms through marriage, then I would be grateful for the death sentence that you would order on me for being discourteous to you. Then I would be grateful for the death sentence that you would order on me for being discourteous to you. Fine. It is only natural that your heart will be troubled when such situations arise. Just when the ministers are about to protest in anger, I raise my hand to stop them. It is pointless to allow this argument to become personal, and for us to become a laughingstock to the kingdom. Mr. Gongsun, in admiration of your loyalty, we will let you off this one time, but next time, we hope that you will be more discerning over what is more important. Thank you so much, Your Majesty. Actually, it is not that we are unwilling to marry your kingdom's princess, nor are we trying to make things difficult for you. It has yet to be 3 years since the former king died, and we hope to review this marriage proposal after his approaching death anniversary. Please rest at the guest house for 2 days while we personally go over to Tiger Hill to find your missing officer. Since your majesty has made this promise with me, I will wait for your good news. But if in 2 days you are still unable to find my missing officer, I will go to Tiger Hill to personally look for him myself. This kind of reminds me of, I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I'm watching a otome donghua, so like basically a Chinese BL anime right now. Can't remember what the name of it is called. What the name of it is, I can't remember what it's called. But one of the main characters is the king of the kingdom, and the ministers keep trying to set him up to be married. Right now, I think that in the anime version, because of Chinese censorship laws, they censor like the explicit romance between he and the like male love interest. But you know, it's still based off of a BL, so I'm like, he keeps putting off the marriage because he does, you know, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to get married, you know, to one of the women that they have for him. And this kind of reminds me that they might be trying to put off the marriage because because the king is actually a she. So that's going to be awkward if the wife finds out that, hey, I married a woman, not a man. And yeah, they can't have children. They can't have an heir, you know. So I wonder if she's trying to put it off because of the fact that she's hiding as a man. Hello. Howdy. Someone else came in. Howdy. Oh. Sora. Hello. We are playing My Vow to My Liege right now, and we are chapter 1. And thank you for coming to join me. I'm excited. I'm really excited to play this game. We can only play up to chapter 10 because of like that was the request of the developers of the game, to only play the chapter 10. So yeah, we're on chapter 1 right now. So I don't know if we're gonna get to chapter 10 next time. If we don't, I'll probably play this on the day I had scheduled, and we probably might finish at the end. And after that, we're going to go to a different game. But right now, basically what happened is that the main character, she is a woman, and she is hiding as the king of her kingdom. She's playing as a man because her fathers and brothers died in a massacre. And there's this dragon god that is attached to her, and she's, you know, it's basically like a curse, kind of. So this is where we are right now. We're in her throne room, and there's a dispute happening right now. Okay. Yeah, I was like, so yeah, that's a lot of chapters. 10 chapters. That's a lot. But it said up to chapter 10, so I'm like, is there more after that? So okay, but let's continue. Men, send Mr. Gongsun back to the guest house and attend to his every need. I heave a sigh of relief as I see Gong Su Yi leave. My body crumples involuntarily where I sit. A pair of familiar hands steady me as a calm voice drifts off to my ears. I think that this guy's one of the love interests. And he is like a personal retainer. He's like I guess a god, a servant, something like that. Did I see him in the intro? He might have been in the intro. But yeah, this is who he is. Before the court was called to session, an attendant in white paid a visit to the Prime Minister. After that, the Prime Minister had rushed out of the city. In white? Could it be someone from the temple on Tiger Hill? The Prime Minister had indeed headed north. For the envoy of Qi to cause such an uproar over such a lowly official, we are afraid that there's more than meets the eye to the simple diplomatic relationship. So I guess he was lying. That guy from before, I guess he wasn't actually looking for a family member or something like that. He came up with an excuse. Chen Feng, bring us back to our chamber to change our clothes. We want to look for the Prime Minister personally. Or maybe he wasn't lying. Maybe he was, I don't know, maybe something else was happening.
No.
Understood. My liege, your clothes are soaking sweat. Please rest in the palace instead. If our clothes are wet, then all we need to do is change into dry ones. Help us change our clothes. I was thinking to myself, it's kind of weird that she's having her male retainer help her change her clothes, but I remember that she's supposed to be the king, so it's normal for a male retainer to help the king change his clothes. Probably suspicious of a female like May was to do that. I spread my arms in front of the mirror to reveal a pale, thin body with hard lines and scars from years of practicing martial arts. Oh. Okay, ma'am. Okay, she could fight. And I wonder if this is the this little star symbol is that cuss from the dragon god. Oh, spacebar is how you. Okay, spacebar is how I remove the text box so I can see a full nice image. Oh my goodness. Yet I have the soft breasts of a woman. Oh my goodness. I was about to say that her face kind of looks masculine to a little bit. Look, this body has long been. Oh, don't say that, man. Don't say that about yourself. Oh, don't say that. Look, this body has long been ruined beyond recognition. There isn't an ounce of womanly features left. Don't say that, ma'am. You are still beautiful. Ma'am! No, don't say that. I am neither a princess nor a king. I'm a monster. You are not a monster, ma'am. It is only because the kingdom of Ing has a liege that we can continue to exist. Is that so? Then why do I have to be humiliated like I was today and keep wasting my energy on Gong Sun Yi? Oh. No! Only a man can continue the family name. Don't say that. As long as I keep pretending to be a man, the kingdom of Un can continue on for generations to come. And the other kingdoms will not dare to trample on mine. My liege, as the king, you are not inferior to any man on earth. Really? Maybe so, but people are superficial and would rather have a monster than a woman as their king. Very unfortunate. This is very unfortunate. Excuse me. Very unfortunate reality. My liege, why do you despise yourself so? Oh my goodness. Myself? I no longer have a sense of self. Perhaps I will need to take a wife and kid and have sons in a few months' time. Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna work out if that happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Chung Feng, do you think that the sacred seal on my chest has changed a bit in color? Changed a bit of its color? I have never carefully looked at it. I have never looked at it carefully. Oh, that was the Chung Feng. I have never looked at it carefully. Forget it. Once it turns completely black, our death will be imminent. Oh. Uh-oh. So it's there's a time limit on the cusp. Interesting. The envoys have already acquired a few sacred artifacts from their various places. Soon we will be able to break this sacred vow. Ah, those are fakes. Just like us. Your Majesty? Your Majesty? Yeah. Your Majesty? What is it? The Prime Minister has sent you a message. Chung Feng quickly steps out of the room only to return. Chung Feng quickly steps out of the room only to return a tightly rolled up piece of cloth. Read. There's a change at the temple. Come quickly to Tiger Hill. The Prime Minister has good foresight. He knew that we would go search for him. Please be cautious, my liege, and send me to see the Prime Minister in your stead. This is urgent. Prepare the carriage. The lake come in spring, grows grasses and trees lusciously green. Overhead, it's a poem, okay. Overhead, the Aureoles sang. Is that how you say that? Aureoles? I don't know how to say that. While winsome villagers tend to shoot spring, I could not admire this beautiful scenery before me. Even though Chung Feng did not prevent me from leaving the palace, I take a revitalizing pill just to be safe. The bitter taste that fills my mouth serves as a constant reminder that I need to protect this broken body. Suddenly, Chung Feng clutches the hilt of his sword. What is wrong? There are soldiers surrounding the caretaker's hut. Let's take a look. Your Majesty? Has something happened over here? The Prime Minister Wu has ordered us to watch over the prisoner here in the caretaker's hut. He is suspected of murder. Murder? Murder means that someone is dead. For Wu Zishu to be so anxious, could the victim be the missing archival officer from the kingdom of Shi? Or as I push aside the soldier to go into my caretaker's hut, I hear a loud cry come from within. Who is it? I'm trying to think of how the question mark sounds like it's going to be an important person. I want to make sure I get nice, distinct voices for these people. So I need to think about how I'm going to voice these people. Hearing the familiar voice, my mind, foggy for medication, suddenly becomes clear. I cannot go in as the king of Ng. The Prime Minister has ordered the prisoner not to be allowed to talk to anyone. Based on the sound of his voice, I don't know, he kind of sounds like he got some air of like flamboyance or some air of like he's like I don't know, like he's sly, or I don't know, I'm trying to describe what adjective. Like he sounds like he's somebody who is maybe full of himself. I don't know. I want to see how he look like and see his like his sprite so I can see how I voice him. Aren't you someone then, Mr. Soldier? Shut up. I hear the muffled sound of a heavy force hitting the soft flesh. Stop! Everything goes silent inside the house. Although I don't want to rush ahead first into things, I cannot sit idly by and do nothing, right? Until we have all the details, no one is to treat the suspect so harshly. No. Understood. The sound of galloping horses grow louder and louder behind me. Which voice should I give him? I turn around to see a pair of fierce, majestic eyes looking right at me. A white-haired man reins in his horse and looks down at me from his back. Prime Minister. Wu Zishu greets me casually with a hand-on-hand salute. Oh, hand-on-hand salute. It's not like I've seen it before in like some Chinese anime, donghua, and maybe some like dramas, when they go and take like, they have a fist in one hand and they have the palm of their other hand over the fist and they bow. Isn't that, I think that's what they're talking about, right? He takes a slanted sidelong glance at the crude stone house where Go Jian is being held. I'm probably going to experiment with these voices. They probably won't stay consistent. Is this the appropriate time for you to concern yourself with that vicious ingrate, my liege? I thought his voice would be deeper, to be honest. It looks like he would have a deep voice. You heard us? Gojian is still the... You heard us? Gojian is still the king of Yue after all. Let's not go overboard. He lost the war of Ning and entered our kingdom as a slave. He should be treated like one. Wu Zishu Wu Zishu hardens his expression and throws me unceremoniously onto the back of his horse. Prime Minister! Cheng Feng, follow me! I don't know, maybe I should make his voice a little deeper. It kind of sounds a little deep. Wu Zishu starts out in a gallop as he heads to the temple at the top of the hill. He stretches out his thick arms to hold me firmly by his waist without the slightest intention of slowing down. His thick arms. Although he has always done what he likes, he would never let me come to any harm. I secretly let out a sigh as I lean my body against his. This faint, disgusting stank of rotten fish wafts by. The faint, disgusting stank of rotten fish. That was the smell that she described at the beginning of the game when they were doing the ritual. When the dragon god came and massacred, and the priests of the dragon god came and massacred everybody. I wonder what she's talking about. Oh, that's how she describes blood. So when she said that the first time, she was describing the blood smell. So that's how she describes blood as rotten fish. I've never. Does blood smell like rotten fish? I mean, I don't know if I've really smelled blood before. I mean, I've encountered it in like the kitchen. I don't know if it has a smell. Does blood smell like rotten fish to y'all? That's kind of interesting. I feel like a corpse or like a like rotten flesh, like not blood by itself, but like a dead body or like, you know, a decomposing body would smell like rotten fish. Anyway, I noticed then that Wu Zishu's hand is stained with dried blood. Are you hurt? This is the blood of the high priest, of the head priest. Is that the reason why you left the city at dawn today? The head Sorry. You wasn't done speaking. The head priest sent word to me that men dressed in black had snuck into the forbidden temple. I needed to rush there, and I did not have time to inform you, my liege. Men dressed in black? Could it be?
正是无显一党的余孽。5年前，先王和臣将吴国各地的龙神信徒剿灭殆尽，已经很久没听到他们的消息了。
Okay. So she was 14 years old when that ritual happened. When the followers of Mei Xian came out. So I'm assuming that it's 5 years from that time period, based on what he's just said. So if she was 14 then, and now it's 5 years later, she's like what, 19 years old? So she's an adult. She's quite young. She's quite a young adult, but she's an adult. Okay, I just want to make sure that she wasn't gonna be too young, but she is an adult now. Okay, I'm so glad, because like if they had started the story like when she was 14 years old, or when it was like she was 16 years old, I don't know. I felt uncomfortable. It seems like she's older. Okay. There are the survivors of the followers once led by Mei Xian. 5 years ago, the former king and I exterminated all the followers of the dragon god here in Ng. It's been a long while since I've last heard about any of them. Since they had the audacity to enter the forbidden temple in Tiger Hill, they probably came for the dragon god who was sealed there. Uh-oh. They're trying to revive him. How did the intruders get past the guards on Tiger Hill and into the forbidden temple? What did the high priest say?
大柱他受伤了。
I'm still investigating it. The head priest is injured. Excuse me. I feel a sharp pain in my chest as I recall the aftermath of the failed attempt to execute the dragon god, as well as the nightmare that I had this morning. The smell of blood is getting stronger as we get closer to the temple. Lying in front of the temple gates next to some trees are two corpses covered in hay. Chung Feng parts the hay to look underneath it. One of the men is dressed in all black. The other is just another warrior. The tattoos on the face of the man in black look almost identical to the sacred seal on my chest. Oh. Who is this, ma'am? He's one of the love interests, too. Hmm. My liege. An elegant, delicate-looking youth steps out of this temple. Is the head priest... Oh, the head priest? Okay. It is the head priest, Zong Dan. The linen that is wrapped around his waist shows traces of blood. Oh, that's... Okay. Interesting. He noticed the direction of my gaze. It is nothing serious. I'm sorry if I worried you, my liege. Where's the centurion who was on duty last night? We need to punish him for neglecting his duties. Oh no, I don't like the way I read that. Where's the centurion who was on duty last night? We need to punish him for We need to punish him for neglecting his duties. Maybe that was better. I don't know. I like his soft voice. I like it. It would be difficult for the guards to suspect the thing. The invaders were followers of the dragon god. They came in the middle of the night in a group and used magic to infiltrate Tiger Hill. A group? There were 3 of them. That last line that he said in Chinese and Mandarin, I recognize that. Like that's, I only know numbers and a couple of words, like the word for like people. So Sangha, I know that's like three people. I know a little bit of Mandarin, so it's nice to recognize one of the, at least some of the words that these people said, like only 2 words. I heard a scream before dawn broke, and fearing that some kind of evil was afoot, went out to investigate for myself. I really like it. I really like his voice. So nice. It was then I saw 3 men dressed in black, assaulting a teenager and a warrior. Was it the warrior line over there? What was it, the warrior line over there? Yes. Oh, yes. The warrior that has been fatally wounded while trying to protect the teenager. Hearing the commotion, the invaders attempted to escape, but I stopped them. Even if you can use magic, the odds of winning 3 against 1, especially with hostages to consider, are not good. You have a point, my liege, but at that time I wasn't thinking clearly. It was only after I had killed one of them that I discovered who they were. I wanted to leave one alive, but they managed to find an opening. The other 2 took the teenager and escaped.
大柱说那2人都受了伤，其中一个伤了腹部，还比较重。 臣已经派人去追寻他们的踪迹了。
The head priest said there were two who escaped were said the two who escaped were injured. I've already sent people to track them down.
相国想得周到，这等血腥之事，我不想惊扰少君，才派人找来了相国。没想到相国给我说了齐国史官失踪一事。
Prime Minister, Wu is very shrewd. Oh, I'm slipping back into my accent. Prime Minister Wu is very shrewd. I do not want to disturb my liege with such a sanguinary? Is that how you say it? Sanguinary matters, and so I approached him instead. I was surprised that he told me about the missing archival officer from Qi.
那武士的打扮与吴国士兵的不同，臣妄自揣测，被挟持的少年便是昨日失踪的齐国史官，武士是他的护卫。
The warrior's clothing is different from that of the Ng armies. I believe the kidnapped teenager is the missing officer, and this warrior was his bodyguard. Okay, we are almost at an hour and a half, so I probably will wait though until this chapter ends. So these chapters seem to be long, so this is good. So I should be able to play a lot of it on stream, because 10 chapters, and if they're all quite long like this, we should be able to play a good portion of it. Yeah, we should be able to play a good portion of it on stream. So I probably wait to see the end of this chapter, but if this chapter doesn't end in like by the next hour, I'm gonna stop. But I'm enjoying myself. I am very interested in the story, and these characters seem nice. So let's continue. But yeah, it's been an hour and a half that I've been streaming so far, and I kind of want to keep my streams about 2 hours at most. So yeah, I carefully examine the warrior's armor to find that it is as Wu Zishu says. I have to admit, his powers of observation and deduction are very keen. These people must be the villains that Gong Su Yi spoke of. Leaving aside the reason why they would kidnap someone from Qi, if they are trying to infiltrate the Forbidden Temple, they must be attempting to undo the spell that has sealed the dragon god.
我查看过陵墓附近，倒没有什么异状。
I searched around the mausoleum and found nothing suspicious. We would still feel better if we could see it for ourselves. Prime Minister, we want you to chase down the two intruders and rescue the archival officer.
臣会亲自去寻。
I will personally go and find him. Changfeng, we want you to help the Prime Minister.
诺。
Understood. Prime Minister, when you get back, we would like more details on why you think the King of Yue murdered someone.
No.
Understood. There's a clear pond behind my royal father He Lu's dedicated hall. Beside the pond is a hidden entrance to where the dragon god is sealed. Looking at the sacred seal engraved on the stone tablet surrounding the pond, I involuntarily clutched the clothes covering my chest. There's the symbol that's on her chest that we saw in that last CG. The beautiful and magnificent pattern depicts the endless dark abyss that has swallowed up the countless souls of Ng's kings. I, too, am one step away from that abyss. Huh. She said that this seal has sucked away the souls of countless souls. I said souls twice. Countless souls of Ng's kings. So she's not the only one to have this cuss mark put on her. So is this something that is a part of the territory? Like when she became king, she inherited this? Is this some... Why is it that all the kings had to suffer at the hands of the symbol? I thought she had this put on because of the dragon god incident, but I guess that's not it. Interesting. I guess we'll see later on. Continue.
剑池没有入侵痕迹，又需少君和我协力才能开启。逆贼就算进到这里，也只能干瞪眼。
There are no signs that anyone has entered the sword pond. It takes the two of us to open it after all. So even if the invaders had come here, they would not have been able to get in. We know that you have always been a cautious person, and so we are not just worried about what happened outside the sword pond, but also over the chief culprit who was locked up inside.
查验风阵总是妥当些，还请少君赐血。
I agree. I humbly ask, my liege, to please offer some of your blood. I make a small cut on my finger with the dagger and press the blooded tip against the seal engraved on the entrance. Oh, that's the seal. She was looking on the seal. Oh, let me look at the log again. So I didn't even realize that the seal was on the door of the entrance. I just saw the symbol on her chest in that last scene. So I'm guessing what she meant by that was this is like a symbol of the afterlife, I guess. Because this is a dedication hall for the ancestors. So all the souls of the former kings that just died naturally, they will go to this, afterlife, this abyss. And I guess this symbol represents that, and it's put on the door of the dedication hall, where you honor the ancestors. So I guess that's what she meant. I thought she meant that maybe it's more than that though. But I thought that she meant, but it doesn't have to be that way, because I thought she meant that all kings of the kingdom had a seal on their chest that would slowly kill them. But I guess that's not it. Maybe she's just talking about just death in general, and she is on the verge of death because of the cuss that she has on. So yeah, I guess that's what she meant. Okay. Okay. The same seal at the bottom of the pond starts to give. I'm modern accents. The same seal at the bottom of the pond starts to give off a faint red light. Chengdan casts a spell that magically drains the pond. When the seal turns completely red, the bottom of the stone pond transforms into two doors that slide apart to reveal a flight of steps leading downwards. I take a deep breath and smell the faint stank of rotten fish. Is that the only way that you can describe blood? Like, this is what, the third time you done said that? You done said that twice already, but before just now, and now again. Like, is that the only way that you could describe blood, rotten fish? And someone tell me, is that how blood smells? Like, I don't know if that's accurate, but the way she keeps saying it over and over again, is there no other way? Like, isn't the way that people describe blood? I know people say it tastes metallic because it has a lot of iron in it, but can't you smell? Can't you smell iron as well? Don't people say that blood smells like has a metallic smell as well? So I'm trying to understand why she keeps saying that rotten fish. That's very weird that she keeps saying that. Anyway, I am unsure if the smell is coming from the outside of the temple or from my memory of that terrible experience that happened 5 years ago. So maybe she just smells rotten fish because she's thinking of corpses as well. Because I'm like, blood does not smell like rotten fish in my opinion, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I would have smelled it if I'm pretty sure I would have remembered that smell if I had ever smelled that when I was in front of blood. We follow the steps down and into a spacious hall at the bottom. This is a naturally formed cave. In the middle is an altar that was carved out of the cave itself. The walls are covered with spells that glow a faint fluorescent blue. 3,000 sacred swords that give off a cold blue light are staked into the ground around the altar in a tight formation. In the middle of the altar sits a large bronze vessel, the Dang of Virtue. This brings to mind the nightmare from early on. It makes the image of the dragon having its head crushed in the square vessel seem all too real. Goodness, imagine having to relive that traumatic experience over and over again. Well, I'm sorry, I had my mouse on the screen. How did I do his voice again? Ever since the dragon god was sealed here 5 years ago, its resentment and hatred has affected the atmosphere to a great extent. Such a chilling air is not good for you, my liege, and you should not linger here for too long. Sure, we just want to take a look before we leave. I understand. I will lead the way. Zhangdang writes a spell in the air. The swords that was staked into the ground around the altar part to form a very narrow pathway. I approach the square dang and stroke it softly. Not only does the dang hold the resentment and hatred of the dragon god, it also holds that of my own feelings and those who've died. I walk halfway around the dang and I'm suddenly struck by something unusual on its surface. Something unusual on its surface. Trying to see who. I probably should have said it that way. Head priest, can the ding be damaged by outside forces? The Dang of Virtue was made from a sacred text and was created by when the Emperor of Zhao and the heavenly gods formed their pact. It's protected by godlike powers and cannot be damaged. Interesting. Look over here. This is... Oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I knew that he was too confident when he said that. I'm like, no, something is not right. We both turned pale as we touched the crack on the ding. Although it's a very thin crack, it spans the entire belly of the ding, and its edges are turning black. Uh-oh. Oh, that's what that man said at the beginning. What's his name? Mei Xiang. That's what he said to her. Your nation will crumble, families will be torn apart, everything you treasure will be turned to ash and dust. My liege, this is not good, head priest. The sacred seal on her chest was acting up again this morning. No wonder you look so pale, my liege. If it had been for that, we would not have come to the bottom of this pond. The followers of the dragon god are active right now, and this crack. Head priest, is the dragon god gonna break free? Zhangdan clutches my cold, clammy hands tightly. An unfamiliar, terrifying stillness descends upon us. My liege, you are scaring yourself. The sealing spell was originally cast upon this dragon god. No. The sealing spell that was originally cast on the dragon god had borrowed its power from the Ding itself, but it was only a means to an end. As the years pass, it is expected that the Ding is now worse for wear.
我们只要抓紧时间，找到能诛灭龙神惊魂的神器，大鼎也就能功成身退了。
We only need to make the best use of our time and to find a sacred artifact that will exterminate the soul of the Dragon King. Then the sacred Ding will be good as new. For the past 5 years, the former king and us have tirelessly searched for such an artifact, but have yet to find neither hide nor hair of one.
这座德鼎也是先王屡次伐楚，流了多少血，破了多少城，千辛万苦才从楚国国都寻来的。
Even this Ding has survived much bloodshed and sacrifice. The former king faced innumerable hardships and perils to take it to the capital of Chu.
神器如果都那么容易被找到，还能叫神器吗？
If a sacred artifact is so easily found, can it still be called a sacred artifact? Oh, nice of you to give her a little peace of mind. But I don't know. I feel like that's still... Something fishy is still going on. It's not that simple. Excuse me. For the entirety of his life, the former king thought of nothing but how to execute the dragon god, and he fought bloody battles to break the sacred vow. So how can we forget his unfulfilled wish so easily? I tenderly stroke the cracks as my father's final moments come to mind all too vividly.
寡人的3个儿子都在太湖被龙神杀了，只剩了腾宇。
此书 All 3 sons were killed by the dragon god at Lake Tai. Teng Yu is the only one left.
这2年来，他都借着老三夫差的名义，由你教导。如今，寡人大限将至，这神蒙印也传到了他身上。吴国能否存续，就看你的了。
Okay, I was just thinking about how she was able to take her brother's name. I'm like, won't everybody know that she existed? Like, but I guess since all 3 of them died at the lake, he could have just said that my daughter was one of the people who died and her brother Fu Chai was still alive. Because I was going to say, how she's able to just hide and pretend that she is her brother and become king. But I guess she could have, her death could have been said with the other her other 2 brothers besides Fu Chai. Okay. For the past 2 years, she has borrowed her 3rd brother's name, Fu Chai, and has been taught by you. Now that the sacred seal has been passed on to her and our life is coming to an end, a survival of the kingdoms of Ng will now depend on you.
如果顺利过了继位这关，即可为腾宇秘密举办婚礼。
If she can successfully ascend to the throne, then you are to hold a secret wedding ceremony for her immediately.
寻找神器，破神梦和 和延续吴国血脉这两件事都不能耽误。
So is she married? Is she married to a man in secret so she can have a child? Interesting. And the ministers are still trying to set her up with a marriage with a foreign nation, which is presumably with a woman. Interesting. It's interesting. But it doesn't seem like she's married. I don't know. To the secret man that her father was talking about. I don't know. I wonder what happened. We cannot stop looking for a sacred artifact that will break the sacred vow or allow our bloodline to come to an end. I'm starting to understand this now. I'm starting to understand this. I'm starting to understand this. I'm gonna say it after his dialogue is done. The dragon god deceived our ancestors, and since then every generation of kings has paid the price with their bodies and souls. But some people believe that as long as they satisfy the dragon god, they will be able to live on in peace and prosperity. They are too naive. Ooh, goodness. You are the only one who can inherit our will. 此时 will help you remove all the obstacles in your way. Remember, only by using our own blood can we take back the rightful destiny and thus call it the righteous way of heaven. Forget not your revenge and swear to break this sacred vow. That was probably too much. I probably did too much at the end of that. Okay, but I'm understanding this now. So, yeah, it seems like that all the other kings of I'm still wondering how to pronounce it because that's just a consonant sound. And do you just say That was it. I don't know. It seems like all the former kings of had to take a sacred vow to become king, and they've all had that thing imprinted on them, that little abyss symbol. And I guess it came from their deal with the dragon god. But if the dragon god was sealed, how come they still had to take that vow? I'm guessing the vow is permanent. Maybe the very first king of took that vow with the dragon god, and just because the dragon god is sealed doesn't mean that the vow that that each successor inherits disappears. Well, I wonder why when the dragon god is sealed. But I'm guessing that it's maybe it's still active because he's the god is still alive. So, okay, I'm getting it. So yeah, so I guess when she looked at that abyss symbol at the beginning of the mausoleum, the dedication hall, that it did, you know, literally claim countless souls of the kings of Ung. Okay, so I thought it was just from that event 5 years ago, but I guess not. I'm one of those people that keeps talking during movies when they're like, just watch the movie, you'll see what's gonna happen if you just watch it. But if I'm putting things together, I want to, vocalize it to somebody. And I guess that I can do that now since I'm streaming to y'all, and y'all ain't here just to watch the game, because you could just play the game if you want to, but you want to hear me talk. So I feel comfortable doing that. But I don't want to keep pausing too long though, because y'all are here to also read the story. So we will not forget our revenge, and we swear to break this sacred vow. No matter what, we cannot let the dragon god escape and become a blight on the people of this kingdom.
我明白，但我曾经一言，欲速则不达。
I understand, but haste makes waste.
施家曾是吴越第一武，倾尽全族之力，才勉强封印住龙神的精华。我们更要谨慎小心才是。
The Shi clan was the most powerful clan of the mages in all of Ung and Yue. And even then, it took the lives of the entire clan to seal the soul of the dragon god. We must be more vigilant. So, even if we worry ourselves to death over this whole affair, it will be all for naught. It will be all for naught.
虽然急，却到不了那个地步。
Even if it's urgent, we still have time. We do not need to drive ourselves to the aforementioned deaths. Sung Dan raises his eyebrows at his facial features. Jandung raises his eyebrows as his facial features finally relax. I don't know if he's trying to reassure me, or if he's confident that everything will be well. We will persist in looking for the sacred artifact while we continue to rely on you to stabilize the sealing spell.
No.
Understood.
不过，希望少君还答应我一件事。
But I hope that my liege will promise me one thing. What is it?
尽量少叹气，叹气呢，会将运气吹跑的。
Do try your best to sigh as little as possible. Sighing will just cause your luck to run out faster. Oh, he's cute. He's very cute. I like him. And he has a nice outfit as well. I'm trying to see. Who am I going to pursue? Oh, I probably should have looked at a guide to see which order I should go in, because sometimes like there might not be a set order to go, but some routes are more plot heavy than others, and some have more, might have spoilers for other routes. So maybe I should have looked. I don't know if we're gonna get to. We haven't made any choices though so far at all. I just realized that we've been like into the first chapter, and we still haven't made not one response. One choice. Okay, but when we do, I'm gonna have to look to see is there a recommended order, and if there's not really a recommended order, I'll go for him. He seems nice. Him or our retainer. Those two are the ones stand out to me so far. But I am waiting on the blue hair the long blue hair one that appears in the long light blue hair one that appears in the thumbnail, or like he was like the first guy that came on in the opening, and I'm thinking that he might be the one that's in the prisoner, so we might see him later on. But I think I might go for him or the retainer if I had to choose right now. Okay, Zhang Dang puts a finger to the corner of his lips as he gives me a sly smile. I can't help but just nod my head. I keep feeling a sharp stabbing pain in my chest and wonder if it's because the cold that I feel from being at the bottom of I keep feeling a sharp stabbing pain in my chest and wonder if it's because of the cold that I feel from being at the bottom of the pond.
少君，大柱，
My liege, head priest, have you found him?
臣与陈峰分头行动，山北没有发现。臣已经派人增援陈峰了。
Chung Feng and I went our separate ways to search, but I could not find anything in the hills in the north, so I sent Chung Feng some reinforcements.
相国，等少君坐下来再说吧。他在剑池底受了寒。
Prime Minister, please wait till my liege has taken a seat before continuing.
来人，给少君端碗热汤来。
Men, give our liege a hot bowl of soup.
少君，你们在池底耽搁了那么久，是不是出了什么事？
My liege, you were at the bottom of the pond for so long. Has something happened? There's a long crack on the sacred ding. We don't know if it's the doing of the Dragon God's followers, or if the sealing spell is wearing out.
臣以为剑池于德鼎难破，仅凭3个信徒还不足以成事。
It would be hard to get into the ding through the sword pond with just 3 followers. Is the Prime Minister trying to suggest that the Dragon God's followers did not come here to break the sealing spell?
我同意相国所言，破阵理应秘密行事，又何必绑架其人，惹出那么大的动静？
I agree with the Prime Minister. Why would they kidnap someone from Qi and cause such a commotion when the way to break the spell is known to be a secret?
啊，莫非绑架齐国史官才是信徒的目的？
Ah, unless their real goal is to kidnap the archival officer?
有可能。先王当年曾捕杀信徒，捣毁龙神庙，仅存的余孽肯定对姬无恨之入骨。绑架齐国史官，或许是为了报复。
That is a possibility. They must still resent us for executing their followers and burning down their temples. Kidnapping the archival officer was probably their way of taking revenge. Wouldn't it be easier to assassinate us instead?
虽然直接，却不是最有效的方式。
You are right, but it would not be the most effective way. Wu Zishu raises his this is the one that her father was talking to that in that flashback. This is Zishu. I forgot his name. Okay. Wu Zishu raises his eyes to look at me, expecting me to infer what he means by, quote, the most effective way. After pondering over it for a while, the cold that the hot soup had rid me of is slowly starting to creep up from my feet. Taking someone from Qi hostage and forcing us to open the way to the soul pond will enable the Dragon God to escape, which would destroy Gusu immediately.
如果胁迫不成，也可杀掉齐氏，破坏齐吴联盟。齐君夫人是鲁国人，若再与晋国联合，对吴国将是个大威胁。
If we refuse to meet their demands, they would still If we refuse to meet their demands, they may still kill the victim and cause a break in diplomatic relations between Ng and Qi. What a malicious plan. We want you to find the perpetrators, even if you have to dig 6 feet under to do it. The spilt blood of my father and brothers must be repaid with blood. Wu Zishu and Zhang Dang raised their hands to make a pledge when suddenly the doors are pushed open as Cheng Feng hurries in. My liege, I have found traces of insurgents on the south side of the temple around the crane stream. Good. We will personally go and cut off their heads. My liege, your health. We are fine, but to be on the safe side, we would like to rely on you to safeguard the temple.
No.
Understood. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop right here for this stream. It is already gone on 2 hours, and I don't want to have these streams be on too long. So we got a lot of information so far. I'm very excited to go and continue to see how the story unfolds. So I think this is a good place to stop, and I'll be thinking about it until when's the next time I'm gonna play this? I'm gonna play this on Friday. So tomorrow I'm taking a break. It's my rest day tomorrow. We're gonna be back on Thursday. On Thursday we're gonna play Mamiya, the dark visual novel. It's not an ultimate game, but it's a visual novel that I started playing on Monday. And then on Friday we're gonna continue to play My Vow, My Liege, and we're still in the first chapter. So yeah. We'll hopefully finish the first chapter on Friday, and then continue to the second chapter. So yeah, I've already eaten dinner, so I'm probably just gonna work on. I have some things I'm working on, some projects I'm gonna start working on. I want to release some covers, some song covers soon. So I'm gonna start working on those covers. So I hope y'all will stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for my stream. So I want to thank y'all very kindly for coming and joining me. I got 3 viewers. Well, one of them is me, since I'm on my phone looking at my stream to make sure things are going okay and to watch the chat. But 2 viewers for the whole entire time. So I want to thank y'all so very much, so very kindly for staying with me and reading this with me. So I hope y'all are enjoying this too. So yeah, see y'all on Thursday, and yeah, y'all come back now, you hear?